Hello and good day. I am Lisa Maipa, your facilitator for today's upskilling. So today's upskilling is about creating stunning presentations. What benefits you and your viewers when you create stunning or attractive presentations, you might ask? Well, first and foremost, stunning or attractive presentations will not make your presentation boring. Presentations make it easier to engage your audience. Just a combination of short text and great visual on a slide will help get the information into the long-term memory of your viewers. Well, this is because images and graphics help visual learners process words more quickly while leaving, of course, a lasting impression. In this topic, I will be presenting to you 30 creative ideas to help you engage your audience. So by the end, you should learn how to create visually appealing presentations and effectively use PowerPoint and other presentation softwares in creating presentations. Let's dive in. Number one is be minimal. Have you heard of less is more? Well, the trick with minimalism is to know when enough is enough. Number two is use all caps. Another creative presentation idea is using all caps when you feel like the topic of your presentation can be delivered with few words, just like our example over here. Number three is unify transitions. Unifying transitions between slides is always a great idea, but doing it horizontally is especially effective, just like the presentation here. Number four is pop of color. Adding a bright color to just a black and white scheme can add just the right amount of attention-grabbing details to your presentation. But it is up to you though to remember to maintain a balance all throughout. You can also watch color psychology. It can help you what color represents an emotion, a feeling of such, and what color match each other. Number five is go vintage. Another creative presentation idea is the vintage look. This could work really well with a history-themed presentation or anything to do with reminiscing old traditions. Number six, use monochrome palette. A monochrome palette is one that maintains a single tonality in different strengths. So for example, you can create a presentation in shades of blue or in shades of orange. See how those text and visuals pops out? Number seven, creative photo crops. The photo in your presentation can be cropped 100 of different ways. It is an advantage to know Adobe Photoshop, of course, but there are also other software you can use that gives you instant results, such as Visme and Canva. Number eight, use circles creatively. Circles represents wholeness and a natural sense of completion. They can signify eternity and constant movement. They can also make your presentation more friendly and emotionally accessible. Number 9, isometric illustrations. If you're looking for different ways to illustrate your slides, why not consider using isometric illustrations? This style of illustration is great for explaining things that can be separated into parts. The parts can be animated as well. Number 10, add GIFs. GIFs can be fun, entertaining, and humorous as well. They can also be informational. GIFs can be sourced from sites like Giphy, where you can create your own GIFs. Try it. Number 11, incorporate quotes. Quotes can be a good breather between a whole bunch of informative slides. You can either use them to separate ideas inside your presentation or to start a new section of information. Number 12, make provocative statements. People don't care about your brand. Reading that, you'd probably be compelled to see how the speaker justifies their points, right? Well, the presentation of the same name does just that. It begins with the unexpected statement, explains why, and then shows you how to overcome the hurdle. Number 13, use black and white photography. Black and white photography is a classic design technique. They import elegance and sophistication to any design by providing a minimalistic approach to the visuals. Number 14, add an audio narrative. Well, if you are not that confident in showing your face in a presentation, then adding an audio could be the answer.
Communication is the encoding, transmission, and decoding of information. Breakthroughs in communication mark turning points in human culture.
Your presentation doesn't need to be silent, especially if you won't be standing by to tell the story yourself. Number 15, include music. Sometimes when listening to someone talk for a long period of time, it helps to have something else to draw your attention. While images are great, including music can really help stimulate an audience and set the mood, just like this one. Welcome to Empowerment Technologies. Empowerment Technologies, or MTech, is an applied track subject for senior high school, the latest and up-to-date educational tool in studying computers. In addition to that, add instrumental music, then music with lyrics. Number 16, color blocking. The color blocking technique is another creative presentation idea that entails using color in large sections and in contrasting tones. The idea is that the color blocks will be strong and colorful. Number 17, Polaroids. You could either use one Polaroid per slide or a collection of Polaroids on a table or corkboard. There are many topics that can work with Polaroid photography, backgrounds, and details. Number 18, include memes. You might probably seen them everywhere by this point, and you might be pretty sick of them. But however, that doesn't mean memes can't be useful. In fact, using a couple strategically can surprise the audience and make them laugh. But if you think memes are not appropriate for your type of presentation, then don't push it. Number 19, use timelines. The timeline can be a visual way of explaining a chronological event or a plan of action that needs to be taken care of. Just make sure the timeline fits the rest of the theme. Number 20, visualize data. Staring at a large amount of numbers on screen can be overwhelming for most people, even if the reality of those numbers enforce your point. What's the best way to avoid scaring your crowd? Put the data into easily understandable visualizations. Number 21, color contrasts. Using contrasting colors in your slides will make the information pop out of the screen in a positive way, just like the example over here. The trick to using contrasting colors is to know how colors match together. Check out Adobe Color and Visme's Learning Center Color Perception. Number 22, be humorous. If you want a great way to connect with your audience and make a memorable, more engaging presentation, then be funny. When used strategically, this is a great way to capture your audience attention. Number 23, make it look like a journal. One creative presentation idea is to make your talk just a little bit different than the rest. It is to make it into a journal style. The general visual idea for this technique is to make your slides look like the page of a journal. You can even handwrite it to make it look more realistic. Number 24, use a video game theme. If you think a video game visual style is good for your project, consider all the different kinds until you find the one that best fits. Number 25, use a chalk on Blackboard theme. Writing on chalkboard is not limited to a school setting or a bar menu. These two might be the most common, yet they are not the only possibilities for using chalk on a blackboard. When using this, it helps the audience remember the school days or when we were in school. Number 26, use hashtags as titles. In the age of social media, hashtags are used every day. They appear regularly on social media, in spoken and written conversations, and of course in content marketing. But why not include some hashtags in your title? Number 27, use classic storytelling techniques. A presentation is, in a way, like a story. You're talking about your chosen subject and leading viewers on a journey to discover what the subject means. Moreover, stories hold an intrinsic interest for us. Therefore, you can easily use several storytelling techniques to help improve your presentation. Number 28, use arrow graphics. Arrows symbolize direction. They can be great addition to your charts, infographics, visuals, and slide sections. You could even do the entire presentation using arrows. Number 29, go futuristic. A futuristic style can fit any theme as long as the concept of the future depicted fits the topic of the presentation. Number 30, stay branded. This creative tip is a simple one. When creating your presentation, do your best to stay on brand. Match colors, fonts, photos, and shape to your brand as not to be overwhelmed or confused with what certain color to use in your presentation. You have reached the end of the presentation. I hope you have learned new things that are useful in creating your own presentation. There are more to that list which you can browse in the reference list. Thank you and have a great day.